Hi there, my name is Dan, and I'm going to show you today how to upgrade the bar on your old Super 250 Mac. So here's what you're going to need to do this job. Of course, you're going to need an old Mac, a good beer, and I'm assuming that since you're not working on a steel 170 or the like, that you're going to want a good beer, not a small light beer. And maybe, depending on motivation, you need some coffee. So here's what we need in terms of tools. First of all, since you're working in your wife's kitchen like I am, you need to put down something nice to keep the spot clean for when you're done. You needed to have also ordered some things. These are hard to come by, but this is an old Oregon bar. It's a 404. 32 inches is the one I got. And if you get a 32-inch bar and you're trying to figure out which chain to use with that 404, you can go on to your favorite site and find yourself some 404 pitch and buy 95 drive lengths of it. So let's get this untangled. There you go, there's my loop. If you make your own loops, then just buy a nice little spool of that, but it's not cheap. So there's your chain. The other things you'll need to do because of bar width, you need to purchase some of these spacers. And I'll show you what to do with those, but you need two. And then of course, you're going to have to adjust tension, and then wrench to get it all on. So, what you'll need to do is pull off your other spacers, look them over, make sure they're clean, make sure your oil channels are all clean, and then you need to leave that left-hand side one on there and take one of the new spacers that you've purchased and put it on top of that. That's important because of the width of the bar and the width of that chain. You just need a little bit of extra clearance in here. Next step, take your bar, get it on there, let that rest in there. Now, you take your other spacer that you just purchased, place it on there, and then finally the other original spacer. You may not have these. Some of the Super 250s and the 250s didn't have both, or so you might only have one, or you have none. I believe they're supposed to have them, so if they don't have it, it might have just got lost over the years. So you get all that on, then you need to get your chain on. So let's make sure I get this the right direction. Make sure you're inside those spacers, guides. And then get down in that. There you go. Once you get that on the nose, you should be good. Some people loop that chain around the nose when you got a sprocket done like that, and then you can place that bar in there and then pull, but sometimes there's just not enough space to do that. But, got all in there. Now you're going to take your guard and you're going to look real closely, pull your bar out, and see if your adjustment hole, where your adjustment hole is in relationship there, and then you can adjust this closer off of the saw and then tighten it up once it's on there. So I'm going to back off a little bit there. And you can tell how close you get, because that won't, if that doesn't go in the hole there, then you're not going to, there we go. Hand tighten these down. When you have a big bar like this on a saw, you hand tighten these bolts, you will find that you think you're hand tightened, and then you can lift up on that bar, wiggle it around, get stuff aligned a little better. See how I still got a lot of room there. Now, you don't want to go ahead and crank things down yet, because what you need to do at this point is tighten. To the point that you have just a little bit of slack. And then you need to be able to move this. If you cannot move this, then you may have a spacer issue, you may have a clutch issue, you could have debris in this bar. This is new old stock. This is not a brand new bar. It's been sitting in somebody's shop for a while, although mine's in very good condition, so it was probably packaged fairly well over the years. But if you cannot do this, then definitely do not go and tighten down this yet. But mine looks pretty good, so just go ahead and tighten stuff up here. The wrap handle on this makes it very difficult to tighten stuff. So I use a ratcheting wrench like that there, and then I use a socket wrench right here. So I've got it tightened. I've got those bolts down. I should still be able to move this. You can see I'm having some trouble with it. So what I'm going to do next is just loosen that up. And I can see it, when I look in here on that sprocket, I see that I've popped off of it just a little bit. There's a nice groove in the middle that holds things nice and steady. So if you're smart, unlike I am, you're wearing gloves and you can give a better pull on that. There we go. Maybe it's falling in now. But that's a brand new chain. It's a Woodland Pro skip chain. It's a 43 RCS. It's a good chain, and it's pretty sharp. You can see I've wounded myself on it just yanking it around. But so that is all you need to get yourself a new bar on your old saw. The two important things to remember: new bar, you want it to be same pitch and everything as the sprocket that you've got. And there are alternatives too if you'd like to do different sprockets, but they're harder to come by. So if you want to stay stock, you can find an old 404 bar like this. New chain, and those spacers are important. If you do not get those on, then you clamp down on that chain and it won't even spin. You'll be out of commission. So there you go. Have a nice day. Stay safe out there.